You ache to find your true self, don't you? To finally tear away the veil of illusion you feel you've been living behind, perhaps for your entire life, once and for all. Carl Jung, who mapped the deepest territories of the human soul, knew this profound, often desperate human quest. But what if the authentic you you're searching for isn't lost in some distant land, but buried deep within, beneath layers of identities you've adopted, patiently waiting for you to stop living the lie, starting right now? We are all actors on a stage, wearing masks tailored for every occasion. The dutiful child, the ambitious professional, the charming friend. Jung called this the persona, a necessary interface with the world. But what happens when the mask becomes fused to the face, when you forget the true countenance that lies beneath? This is the genesis of the lie, the slow drift into an existence that feels hollow, scripted, a performance for an unseen audience, leaving your true self an ignored whisper in the wings. And what of the lands within that you refuse to visit, those shadowed parts of your own nature that you've been taught to deny, to repress, to banish from the light of your awareness? Jung understood that the illusion we live is often built upon the careful avoidance of our own shadow. To truly escape the lie, to find that whole and authentic self, requires not a flight from this inner darkness, but a courageous journey into it, for it holds vital pieces of who you truly are. Think of the life you are living. Is it truly your own, chosen with conscious intent from the depths of your being? Or do you sometimes feel like a marionette, your strings pulled by societal expectations, by old family patterns, by fears and desires you don't fully understand, this feeling of being out of alignment, of playing a role that doesn't quite fit? This is the heavy weight of the illusion, the silent suffering of a true self, yearning for expression, for breath. The architect of this elaborate illusion, the one that keeps you from your true self, is not solely an external force. Jung would guide us to look within, at our own unconscious landscape. It is often our unacknowledged fears, our unhealed wounds, our desperate need for approval, or our powerful unseen complexes that co-author the script of the lie we inhabit. The path to authenticity, therefore, involves not just seeing through the world's illusions, but through our own. And the price of this counterfeit existence, this life lived in the shadow of your own potential, it is a quiet but persistent ache of meaninglessness, a chronic dissatisfaction that no worldly success or fleeting pleasure can truly soothe. It is the anxiety of being a stranger to yourself, the deep-seated feeling that something essential is missing, that you are not living the life you were truly meant to live. This is the slow starvation of the soul, the ultimate cost of not embarking on the quest for your true self. But there is a call, a powerful, undeniable summons from the very core of your being, the call to individuation, as Jung termed it. This is the sacred, lifelong journey of becoming who you truly are, of integrating all the disparate parts of yourself into a unique and authentic whole. It is not a destination to be arrived at quickly, but the decision to begin, to commit to this inner work, can happen in this very moment, now, transforming everything. Before we delve into Carl Jung's timeless wisdom on how to navigate this profound path, how to recognize the subtle whispers of your true self and systematically dismantle the illusions that bind you, once and for all, pause. Allow yourself one moment of unflinching honesty. What is one mask you wear that feels particularly heavy today? One small part of the lie you feel an urgent, undeniable need to begin shedding, starting right now. Share that courageous recognition in the comments below. For the sacred journey to your true self always begins with such a fearless, honest seeing. The ache is familiar, isn't it? That deep, quiet yearning for something more, something real, a feeling that the life you are living, the face you show the world, isn't the full story of who you are. Carl Jung, who journeyed into the hidden landscapes of the human soul, knew that this ache is the call of your true self, the authentic core of your being, trying to break through the layers of illusion. You might have searched for it in achievements, in relationships, in distant places, but what if the greatest journey is the one inward, to uncover what has been there all along, buried beneath the roles you play so well? Think of the many masks you wear each day. The capable worker, the agreeable friend, the perfect partner, the dutiful family member. Jung called this the persona, a necessary way to meet the world. But when does the mask stop being a tool and start becoming a prison? When does it grow so tight that you can no longer feel the breath of your own true spirit beneath it? This is where the lie begins. Not as a deliberate deception, but as a slow forgetting, a gradual drifting away from your own unique center into a life that looks good on the outside but feels strangely empty within. Do you remember moments, perhaps fleeting, when you felt a profound sense of being out of step, a deep disconnect between the person you were pretending to be and the unknown self stirring restlessly inside? These aren't signs of weakness or failure. They are precious signals, messages from that buried part of you urging you to look deeper, to question the script you've been handed or the one you've written for yourself based on what you thought the world wanted from you. The pain of this disconnect is the pain of an unlived life, a soul not yet fully born into its own truth. This exploration, guided by Jung's wisdom, is an invitation to gently, courageously begin to peel back those layers, to listen to those whispers, to understand how the illusion took hold and how step by step you can begin to find your way back to the vibrant, authentic core of your being. It's about stopping the lie, not by force but by a growing understanding, a dawning awareness that a truer way of living is not only possible but urgently calling to you right now. How are these illusions woven so tightly around us, these invisible walls that keep us from our true self? Jung showed us that much of it happens in the unseen world of our own minds, in the vast ocean of the unconscious. Old messages from childhood, unspoken family rules, the subtle pressures of society, these things sink deep within us like hidden currents, shaping our beliefs about who we are and what's possible for us, often without us ever realizing it. They become the invisible threads of the lie we live. And then there is the shadow, that part of us where we hide everything we don't like about ourselves, everything we've been taught is bad or unacceptable. To keep living the illusion, to maintain that perfect mask, we often have to push these shadow parts deeper and deeper into the darkness. But Jung knew that what we refuse to see in ourselves, we often end up seeing and fighting in others, or it leaks out in ways that sabotage our lives, keeping the illusion of control while true authenticity slips further away. The lie is often built on this fear of our own wholeness. Fear itself is a powerful guardian of illusion. The fear of not being liked, the fear of being different, the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, even the fear of our own true power. These fears can keep us clinging to familiar roles, to safe but unfulfilling paths, long after they've stopped serving us. It feels safer to live the known lie than to step into the frightening open space of becoming who we truly are. Can you feel the echo of such fears in your own choices? Sometimes the illusion even feels comfortable, like a well-worn coat, even if it's 2 sizes too small and keeps us from breathing deeply. It's easier to go along, to fit in, to not make waves. But this comfort, Jung would warn, is a dangerous lullaby, a sweet song that keeps your true self asleep. The real safety, the real peace, doesn't come from avoiding life's challenges by hiding in illusion, but from finding the strength and courage to meet life authentically, with all of who you are. Even when you are deeply caught in the illusion, living through a mask that feels increasingly heavy, your true self does not abandon you. It speaks constantly, though often in a language your conscious mind has forgotten how to understand. Jung taught us to listen for its whispers in the most unexpected places, In our dreams, those nightly journeys into the symbolic landscapes of our own souls. What recurring images, what strange stories does your dream world offer you? They are often coded messages from your deepest core. Pay attention to those moments of synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that seem to hint at a larger pattern, a hidden guidance at play in your life. A chance encounter, a book falling open to a crucial passage, a song on the radio that speaks directly to your heart. These can be nudges from the self, trying to get your attention, trying to steer you back towards your authentic path, away from the detours of illusion. And what of those feelings you try so hard to push away? The anxiety that hums beneath the surface, the sadness that comes for no apparent reason, the nagging sense that something is profoundly missing, even when your life looks perfect on paper. Jung suggested that these symptoms are not always enemies to be defeated, but often distressed messengers from your true self, signaling that you are living out of alignment, that the lie has become too constricting for your soul to bear. Are you brave enough to listen to what your own discomfort is trying to tell you? Deep within every human being, Jung believed, is a powerful, undeniable urge towards wholeness, towards becoming the unique individual we were always meant to be. He called this the process of individuation. This is not just a vague desire, it is the driving force of your soul, the deep current that pulls you, sometimes gently, sometimes fiercely, towards authenticity, towards escaping the illusion and finding your way home to your true self. The choice is whether to fight this current or to finally, courageously surrender to its wise and loving flow. The journey inward, towards your true self, and away from the comforting lies, is not always an easy one. It is, as Jung described it, a perilous adventure into the depths of your own being, a journey that requires immense courage and unwavering honesty. For to find what is real, you must first be willing to confront all that is false, all that you have buried, all that you have pretended not to be, both the light and the darkness. First, there is the meeting with your own shadow. This means looking squarely at the parts of yourself you've disowned, your anger, your envy, your fear, your vulnerabilities, but also, sometimes, your greatest strengths and brightest talents that you were too afraid to claim. It's not about judging these parts, but about acknowledging them, understanding them, and bringing them back into the wholeness of who you are. This is how you begin to starve the lie, by reclaiming the energy tied up in repression. Then there is the difficult work of withdrawing your projections. So often, the things that irritate us most in others, or the qualities we idealize in them, are actually disowned parts of ourselves, cast outwards onto the world. As you begin to see and own these projected pieces, your vision of yourself and others becomes clearer, less distorted by the fog of illusion. You start to see people as they are, not as you need them to be to maintain your own internal story. This journey also demands that you find your own unique song, separate from the chorus of the collective, the expectations of your family, your culture, your peers. It means daring to be different, to follow the often lonely path dictated by your own inner truth, rather than the well-trodden highways of conformity. The true self is always an individual, and finding it means having the courage to stand apart, to embrace your own unique way of being in the world, even if it feels frightening at first. And so, as you begin to turn towards this inner work, as you start to listen to the whispers of your soul and bravely face what you've hidden, something miraculous begins to happen. This isn't about finding a perfect, finished, true self once and for all, as if it were a treasure buried in a chest. Rather, it's about starting right now to live from a deeper, more authentic center within yourself, an ongoing process of becoming more real, more whole each day. You begin to learn to trust that inner voice, that quiet guidance from the self, more than the loud demands of your ego or the persuasive illusions of the outer world. Your choices start to feel more aligned, more deeply right for you, even if they don't make sense to others or fit the conventional mold. This is the dawn of authentic living, where your actions begin to flow naturally from the core of your being, rather than from fear, obligation, or the need for approval. With this growing connection to your true self, a new sense of meaning and purpose begins to infuse your life. The old emptiness, the gnawing dissatisfaction that came from living the lie, starts to fade, replaced by a quiet joy, a resilient peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances. You are no longer at war with yourself, trying to be someone you're not. There is a profound relief, a coming home, in simply allowing yourself to be who you truly are, flaws and all. While the path of individuation, of finding and living from your true self, is indeed a lifelong journey, the decision to stop living the lie, to escape the illusion, can be made in this very moment, now. It is a commitment to listen more deeply, to see more honestly, to choose more consciously, day by day. This isn't about achieving some static state of perfection, but about embracing the dynamic, ever-unfolding process of becoming more fully, more vibrantly yourself. And that, Jung would affirm, is the most rewarding adventure life has to offer. And so, as the echoes of this deep dive into the heart of your own being begin to settle, guided by the timeless wisdom of Carl Jung, may you feel not a sense of ending, but of a profound and potent beginning. The masks you've worn, the illusions you've navigated, the lie you've perhaps unknowingly lived, these now stand revealed not as failures, but as stepping stones on the sacred path back to your own authentic center. The world outside may look the same, but perhaps you now see it, and yourself within it, with eyes that perceive a deeper truth. This journey from the shadows of the unexamined life towards the radiant light of your true self is not about becoming someone new, but about courageously uncovering and embracing who you have always been, beneath all the layers. The lie starts to lose its power, not when you fight it with force, but when you gently, consistently choose to listen to that quiet, inner voice, the voice of your own deepest knowing. There is an immense quiet strength in this turning inward, this commitment to your own soul's unfolding. Carry this truth like a glowing ember in your heart. Deep within the labyrinth of your own being lies the golden thread of your true self. To grasp it, to follow it with trust, is to find your way not out of the world, but more truly, more fully into it, beginning now. This inner compass, once you learn to heed it, will always guide you towards what is real, what is meaningful, what is authentically yours. Remember, this quest to escape the illusion once and for all, and to stop living a lie now, is not a single event, but the start of a beautiful, lifelong dance of becoming more conscious, more whole. The world, with all its captivating distractions and its subtle pressures to conform, will continue to turn. But you, now armed with a deeper awareness, can choose to move through it with greater authenticity, making choices each day that honor the truth of your own unique spirit, listening ever more closely to the wisdom that resides within. If this exploration has stirred within you a yearning to continue this profound journey to connect more deeply with your true self, then know that you are not alone. Subscribe and become part of a community dedicated to these vital explorations of the human spirit. Share in the comments below, what is one small brave step you feel called to take, starting today, to live more authentically, to honor that true self. And if these words might illuminate the path for another seeker, share this message, for the journey towards wholeness is a light that grows brighter when shared.